office, we stamping time. Took a slice out of the big apple, made apple pies. Family size, leather bombers and Nike Sacai's. Dangerous corners, you better pray that tomorrow arrives. Rap, Sugar Ray Robinson, nothing sweet. Y'all too out of shape to even box with me. Heavyweight, I know my way around the ring. Just like Shorty know her way around the storm. Making hits with Hit Boy, all he gotta do is hit record. Record breaking news, had to show up just to fill a void. Confused boy, little boys, y'all better keep your poise. Leave me out of the weasel. Be cool when you see me, I'm hot at all that rap deep. The hood know you, so we don't borrow, believe in it. Locked in on the instrumental, I took back the key to this. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. What I'm saying, your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. What I'm saying, people saying what's already been said. Predictions, I don't listen, it's already in my head, no funny. Your most hungry place, I was past that at 28. Underground tapes, as my ass cap in publishing states. As we slide in the G-Ride, I've been getting criticized, it's keeping me energized. Create with a business mind, I'm from where killers reside. A wild hood, only knew boons since my childhood. Say anything in they raps cause it sound good. Don't even mean what they say, horrible outlook. Y'all ain't really about this house. Y'all was in the house with it. We don't respect fake jewelry and silly outfits. Window down, blowing out great tits. New York's J. Prince on Houston Street. I caught the bounce before my even bounced the beat. I took the hard way in it, man, it's the route for me. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Kene Nwangu now out of his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Yeah, we saw that from up here, CD. A tug on the face mask and the flag comes out.
And we saw that last week they had some defensive miscues like that. And they told us that they had worked hard on it in practice and thought they had it all cleaned up. But obviously the message hasn't really sunk in.
Now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he takes us up right near the 45-yard line. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down. Now, this defense for the Bengals, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Cook again, and he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Throwing is Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
and you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. The Vikings at 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they got off to the good start, but then 2 straight losses since.
And now you start to wonder about what this does for a team's morale, how it affects their psyche, because let's face it, you work all summer pointing toward that opening game, you get the win, but then you don't carry it on from there. How will they bounce back from these losses?
That's into a crowd and intercepted. The 30, 10, 5, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. So the completion good for 6 yards. And 3rd and 8 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. To throw is Cousins. And this pass broken up. Well, the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
This is fielded at the 27. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Looking to pass. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Here we go.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now Burrow. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Was Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground. So on fourth down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away, no good. And this will remain a one-touchdown game.
They had a chance there to really build a nice early lead, go up a couple of scores. But he doesn't hit that one quite right, and it winds up an empty possession.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second and 8 coming up. Slot man moves right. From the 30 on second down. Cousins. And complete right side to Cook. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On first down, they'll run with Nwangu. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them. And boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On third down, Cousins. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he needed to get to the midfield stripe, but he can't do it. He's about a yard short. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll bring up fourth down. So on fourth down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. 53 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
First down, here's Burrow. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Second and 5 now. Burrow. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Down inside the 10. And he'll be out of bounds. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort. But instead, he sets his guys up in excellent shape for a 1st and goal.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll send the tight end in motion. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 11. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins flush to his right. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
As quarterbacks like to do, he pushed it downfield on that throw. But I think that since he was outside the pocket and there was open space, it would have been a good time for his first carry of the game.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Rolling to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. To the air again, it's Cousins. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout call.
And this is going to be intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 73 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Now it's Burrow. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? So a critical mistake, roughing the passer Now it's 1st and goal. Touchdown! Rondale Moore, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. And the Bengals are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Now Burrow on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Kadarius Toney, 78 yards. And the Bengals are able to widen their lead here in this first half. And McPherson on for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins buying time to his left. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Cousins to throw it. On the move to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
And right around the 20, he'll head out of bounds. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And some room to roam now. And he's going to get this down inside the 40 before he's finally ridden out of bounds. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers.